if you look at what happened during the regional bank crisis this year, we learned a very important lesson. We had regional banks stocks plummeting, some of them going bankrupt, and Bitcoin rose from 19,000 to 30,000. What did that tell us? It tells us that because of the decentralization and the transparency in the network, that counterparty risk is not an issue for Bitcoin. And so there was a flight to safety into Bitcoin. Think about that. As bank stocks were plummeting, that spoke very loudly to me. And I think the other reason people have been reticent is they heard about FTX. And if they think about FTX, though, FTX proved the point that you really want to be involved with a Bitcoin network and not something like an FTX. Why? Bitcoin is transparent and decentralized. FTX was completely centralized, completely opaque, and a fraud. Sam Bankman-Fried did not like Bitcoin. I understand why. He thought he was a master of the universe and could control everything. Well, he couldn't control Bitcoin, and that's its beauty. That's its beauty. So now with the ETF, what is going on? I think, we know the research people at the SEC, and they know what they're talking about. They are really good. We've met the head of FinHub now, who reports directly to Chairman Gensler. And for me, the disconnect is they know so much and they are so good that I believe this was much more Gary Gensler standing in the way. I don't know for sure because they could never say something like that. I just know from how we have discussed Bitcoin with them that they really understand it. And
Bitcoin's value is expected to increase significantly due to its decentralization, transparency, and growing support from industry giants, making it a safe and strategic investment option. Bitcoin's value increased during the regional bank crisis, proving its decentralization and transparency make it a safe investment compared to centralized alternatives like FTX. Bitcoin's value will increase significantly, at least 36 times, according to Cathie Wood's 2024 crypto prediction. Bitcoin is gaining support and forming a rising channel towards $30,000, with BlackRock, Arkansas Invest, Fidelity and Grayscale competing for the first spot in Bitcoin ETF approval. The approval of Bitcoin spot ETFs could trigger the next bull cycle for Bitcoin, as the SEC's stance on Bitcoin ETFs is expected to shift due to growing demand and pressure from industry giants. In the 70s, the US experienced a lack of monetary policy discipline due to government spending, which could be a concern now, but the speaker believes we are not in the same situation. Inflation and high debt levels in the US are not causing the same economic problems as in the past due to the current widespread spending and unprecedented debt. Bitcoin's value will increase significantly due to negative M2 growth and government spending crowding out the private sector, as shown by historical trends and the transparency of the Bitcoin network. Bitcoin's potential should not be overlooked despite its volatility, and strategic investment is key, as demonstrated by Cathie Wood's children averaging down on their investments, as Bitcoin has consistently outperformed all other assets over the long term. In this video, we bring you Catherine Duddy Wood is an American investor and founder, CEO and CIO of ARK Invest, an investment management firm. As she shares future prediction of Bitcoin price, her prediction will shock you. Watch the video.
Look back to what happened in the 70s, and many people fear that we are in a period like the 70s now, especially hearing all of these wage negotiations and settlements, 10% per year. That feels very 70s. I personally do not think we're in the 70s, but just to help people understand what can happen when you basically unhinge monetary policy, close the gold exchange standard. The lack of discipline started in the 60s, actually. Vietnam War and Great Society. So guns and butter. The government could pay for everything. Sound familiar? Sound familiar, right? And what happened back then is over 15 years, the Fed accommodated profligate government spending. So it just started with Vietnam and Great Society, and it only got worse. So that was a 15-year plus period by the time Volcker got in, and he had to crack the whip, namely starve the economy of money relative to what it had been used to. And
not at the debt levels that we have now.
Right. And debt, exactly. And so we ended up with double-digit inflation. And I remember with surtaxes, businesses had to pay in interest more than 20%. That was just a killer. Inflation was absolutely destroying purchasing power. So, and I remember my father back then. I remember my dear father back then, talking to me about it and talking to my mother especially, and I would overhear these conversations. My paycheck, we can't buy as much food. This is terrible. So why is it not the same thing now? Because we have profligate spending in the U.S. and the debt levels are just incredible. Part of the reason is I think monetary policy is making a different mistake. So M2 growth is negative on a year-over-year basis, and that means the Fed is not accommodating this government spending. But what it also means is the government spending is going to crowd out the private sector. And I think you're beginning to see that happen now. We think there's going to be a harder landing. So why don't people, take the lessons of history? Okay, I've just given you 2 periods, and look at what Bitcoin's trend has been. And if you look at if you become a reader of our Bitcoin Monthly, I don't know if you've seen it, Natalie. It's we put it out monthly, and it's a lot of David Puel's on-chain analytics and analytics that he created himself. What it does is it monitors the health of the network and gives you a sense of the fundamental dynamics taking place in the Bitcoin network. It's phenomenal what we can learn. It's so much more transparent than the Fed, which issues these minutes in cryptic notes, and then has every Fed member come out and contradict each other. So you have absolutely no idea what they really think and what's really going to happen. You can see everything on the Bitcoin blockchain. And we've even been able to identify when trouble was brewing because of the algorithmic stablecoins and the hedge fund exposure, and just watching the money move around. We knew there were a number of hedge funds, we guessed correctly, were hurting. So why don't people pay more attention to this? I think because it's very volatile still. And what's the alternative in their minds? Well, the prices in the real world aren't that volatile, and interest rates aren't that volatile. So they're making false comparisons, I think. And it just seems like Bitcoin is in, as you say, it is in the earliest days. And so is it in the Wild West? And what we do in our analysis is show, yes, it's volatile. So pick your spots, but, and my children are averaging down, weekly, or averaging in weekly. And they're very happy, because if you look over time, what has happened with Bitcoin, the trend is definitely up, higher highs and higher lows, right? And that's very reassuring. And we also have a chart in Big Ideas where you can see the returns from Bitcoin over a 3, 4, 5 year period. and they outperform all other assets. But you have to have that long-term time horizon, I think.
Welcome to the Future of Finance with Extra Skills crypto courses. Our seasoned experts, veterans of the crypto game, are here to decode the complex world of cryptocurrency for you. Our comprehensive courses cover everything from blockchain fundamentals to advanced trading strategies. Here's the catch. We're offering a limited-time exclusive discount on our crypto courses. Get access to these invaluable resources at an unbelievable discount of more than 50% off. Hear it from our students who've already transformed their financial futures. I turned a small investment into a profit machine. Thanks to Extra Skills, I'm not just trading crypto, I'm trading success. Don't wait, the crypto market never sleeps, and neither should your ambitions. Click the link below to access our exclusive crypto courses. But wait, there's more. We urge you to take advantage of this incredible offer. Click on the link in the description below the video to get these courses at a discounted price. Don't miss this Extra Skills, empowering you for crypto success.